hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? We back? Can you hear me? Oh, okay, I'm good now. Okay. You're good now. Okay, my bad, man. That's my bad. Listen, we're here, man. Happy Saturday to everybody, man. Look, I was temporary. Hey, that's what happens when you got. I go live. Well, I do shows almost every day. You guys know I didn't do a show Wednesday. I didn't do a show Thursday. I was temporarily lost in the sauce. But that just goes to show you, man. Listen, me being out a couple of days has me all the way out of the picture. But I did do a little bit of video yesterday. Didn't have my face on there. But listen, we got a couple of things. We got one more Saturday. We're going to talk about this. We got 144 between Twitter and YouTube. We got to talk about this real quick. One more Saturday into the season. And one of the things that I got to touch on is the fact that the quarterback position is essentially going to be decided today. And I'm going to tell you guys why. The reason is that it's a big time scrimmage that's taking place right now as we speak. And some of the media is there. And you look, there's not going to be a whole lot of reporting that's going to come out of this. But today is the day. And coincidentally, just today, I just saw where Notre Dame's quarterback was officially named. So now Notre Dame has the quarterback. And so with that taking place, and we're seeing all these quarterback positions being basically resolved, you got to know and got to believe that USC and Lincoln Riley, after today, their quarterback position is going to be resolved after today. Now, I mean, there are multiple reports. And let me just give a shout out real quick and a shout out. And I'm going to allow some people to come on. I'm going to put the StreamYard link. You don't have to put your face on if you don't want to come on. Once I put the link on, just put no camera on there, and you could just do it as a call in. Or if you want to put your face on there, you're more than welcome to come on and join me. But let me give a shout out to Cody Kessler. He has a great show called, I think it's Victory Podcast with Keely, and they do a phenomenal job. I really like listening to Cody. But one of the things that I heard Cody say was he's talking about the quarterback battle with J.D. Mayava. I think Keely asked him if you can find that podcast on YouTube, if this is a real quarterback battle. And he basically stated that. He said yes. He said, he believes that. For some of the things that he's seen, he said he don't believe Lincoln Riley was just saying that. And you guys know, I brought the information to you as far as how I felt about the quarterback battle. I felt like Miller Moss is QB1, as I stated, and I will continue to say that. Miller Moss is QB1, and Jaden Mayava is not QB2, but he's QB1B, in my opinion. I believe that Jaden Mayava is right there next to Miller Moss. And I believe what really separates the two is Miller Moss has a very good understanding of the offense. I mean, just given the fact that he's been in the system for 3 years. Let me shout out my man, Anthony Buzzer. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Being that Miller Moss has been in the system for 2 years already, I believe that he has a feel for the system. However, I also believe that Jaden Mayava is making progress. I believe that he's coming on his knowledge and his comfortability as far as the system is concerned. And so when I heard Cody Kessler make those references to Jaden Mayava and Miller Moss, I truly believe that it is a real battle. So the thing is this, the battle is going to be decided today. This is a game type scrimmage. And here's the reason why I think the battle is going to be actually today, because you're talking about going into the mock game situation where they essentially go into they go on the bus, they stay in the hotels, they do all that. You don't want to go in that situation without having the QB1 already announced. Shout out to Anthony Butler. Thank you for that. You said these LSU pundits are lost in the gumbo sauce. They're talking like our D-line are still. They about to find out, man. They about to find. I've been listening to a couple of them. I've been listening to multiple LSU podcasts. Some actually have. I listened to one this morning. Some actually have knowledge of what's taking place. They understand that. I even heard them make reference to USC's wide receivers, that they're long. They could give us problems. He kept it real. And I'm trying to get him. Hopefully I can get him on this show. But let's get back into this QB competition real quick, because there are several things that are involved with this. And I think, yes, Miller Moss has earned the right to be the quarterback. He's earned the right to be here. But at the end of the day, is it about what we earn, or is it about having an actual person that's been consistent in fall camp? And so when you hear things, Lincoln Riley used the language like the QB battle is still going. Look, we didn't hear that last year. And that was one of the things that I kind of wanted to relay over to you guys. We didn't hear that last year. It was just a clear-cut thing with Caleb Williams. I know some say and suggest it's coach speak, but let's see what happens. Let's see, and I'm going to continue to say it. Miller Moss is QB1, 1A. Jaden Mayavan QB1B. So you guys can drop those comments. Shout out to Eddie. You've been a Miller time all season. Hey, may the best man win. Shout out to Eddie, man. How you doing, man? Hey, so let's talk about a couple of things that we saw over the weekend. And I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna put the StreamYard app in here. Listen, you guys, as I stated, let me erase this. As I stated, you guys are more than welcome to. I can't do all at one time, but you guys know we're starting this call in, and then we're gonna continue to do that. There it is, right there. I got a couple things that I want to show you. That's the StreamYard app. Eddie, you're more than welcome to come on and talk about it as well. And I got a couple of things we got to talk about. And one is this. It's Julian Lewis. You guys know, big-time USC commit from last night. He balled out. He had a little bit of a hiccup in the game, which was an interception. But, I talked to somebody last night, and I said this. I said, how a person responds, we're going to kind of know what type of quarterback we actually got in Julian Lewis. Julian Lewis, he threw for 126 yards. He went 9 for 15, 126 yards last night, 3 touchdowns. And the way he responded to that interception was absolutely phenomenal. He balled out. Now, here's something in Miller Moss's game. Not Miller Moss. Julian Lewis' game that I did not ever see, that I did not realize how mobile he was. One of the things was I saw him last night in the pocket scramble. I'm telling you, they said Bryce Young, but to me, it actually looked like Caleb Williams when he went inside, outside. I've never, ever saw that with Julian Lewis. And he went in and out and came out and was able to, this is Tim Prank. Hold on for 1 sec. Tim, I'm on live, my brother. I'm going to call you right back. Oh, all right. That's my man, Tim Prangley. He should be at the practice. It sounds like he was at the practice right now. And I can hear a lot of stuff. I should have had him come on live with that. But no, they said no media, so he can't come on. But anyway, Julian Lewis, he went 9 for 15, 126 passing yards and 3 TDs. But he went in and out and in. And it was straight up go time. I like what I saw from him, but it wasn't just Julian Lewis. USC commits overall. Shout out to Debo. Vegas has odds for Jaden and the Heisman. Yeah, I saw that. I saw where they actually had Heisman. We'll talk about that real quick. Hey, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to get back onto that in just a second. But the thing is, with Julian Lewis, he really was able to move around that pocket more so than what I thought he was, and it was straight up go time. So you guys can drop those comments. You guys can tell me what you think. But it wasn't just Juju Lewis. It was USC commits overall. For those who didn't see, I am so excited about this guy right here. This is Jaden Prolite. He actually balled out last night. Linebacker commit for USC. You guys know we got 2 linebackers commit, Mekhi Talbot and now Jaden Prolite. And I'm very, very excited about those 2 guys, explosive guys out of the state of Georgia. Also, this guy right here, all I can say is, oh, my God, if you're not connected with me on Twitter, his name is Shamon Arnaud out of the state of Georgia as well. My God, that dude right there, the way he played last night, you guys remember when I talked about Braylon Conley? Braylon Conley was actually just, one of those most underrated guys. And, they had him rated at a 3-star. And you guys see that reports now are coming out that Braylon Conley is moving and grooving on the field. Well, this guy right here, Shamon Arnaud, this is an explosive kid plays on the same football team as Julian Lewis. And what I saw from him last night, he was absolutely just phenomenal. So man, you guys can drop those comments, and you know, here it is right here. We got to give credit. Let me mute that. We got to get credit where credit is due. The 2025 linebacker class, you see it here. We got Ohio State rated 1, and then USC at number 2 with the linebacker class. And we got to give credit to where credit is due. USC is doing a phenomenal job in recruiting, and it's straight up go time, man. So you guys can drop those comments. You guys can tell me what you think. And one more thing before I get back on this Julian Lewis stuff. Shout out to my man Phil Parker. Where are those sunglasses? Man, where are my sunglasses? I got the sunglasses. I'm about to put them back on. If I could, I got them over here somewhere. I think I got them over here somewhere. They over here somewhere. But look, man. Man, hey, look, man. If you want to come on, I'm gonna hit. I got the link in here. You come on, man. Mr. Lost in the Sauce 49er fan himself. Look, I'm putting the link right here. If you want to come on and talk about it. This is the most Lost in the Sauce 49er fan right here. But he's my guy, though, man. Much love to him. There it is right there. If you want to come on. You don't have to put your camera on. You can turn your camera off. Once you come in or before you come in, you can hit the option to turn your camera off. Anybody who wants to come in, you're more than welcome to come in. You can turn your camera off and not come in. But USC is doing a phenomenal job with the linebacker group. One more news and note item, and I'll get into some of these questions real quick. USC commit. This guy right here, absolutely balled out. Xavier Griffin. You guys know Xavier was just on my show. He had an incredible game last night, and it was straight up go time. Does anybody understand the phenomenal job that USC is doing right now? When you're talking about recruiting, hit me in the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna get to some of these questions. Mr. Ben Wailers, what's coming? What's going on, my man? If you're available, hit that link, hit that StreamYard link, and tap in with me. Julian was looking like, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you're absolutely correct. What I saw from Julian last night, I have not seen that from him before. In fact, I told somebody, because you guys know, I talked about Hassan Longstreak as well, and I brought him up in my past videos, and I said one of the things that I do like about Hassan Longstreak is he's very mobile. Well, and I said Julian is a better pro-style quarterback compared to Longstreak, but Longstreak is a little bit more mobile. Well, I changed my mind after last night. That's the first, because every footage that I saw of Julian Lewis, it was mostly, he was gunslinging it. Just picking people apart in the pocket. And okay, we got a couple of people. Let me, I didn't even see these. Hold on. I'm going to get to a couple real quick. I didn't even see these. Hold on for 1 second. Blackie Chan, come on in, my brother. What's the word?
Nada, just saw you were live while I was editing some videos, and I just thought I'd jump on.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I'm going to take a couple of these in just a second. I'm going to give you guys a couple of times. But, man, what's your thoughts on everything that's unfolded, man?
Well, I liked what Julian did last night, but what everyone's talking about is what he said when he did his interview, when he said, right now. And that's what everyone is focusing on, is that he just said right now. And people are kind of saying that, oh, he's not as solid as he sounds.
Man, look, he's committed to USC, and we got to hold on to that. Only thing I can go by is, like I stated before, his mom told me literally that they're looking for an apartment. His daughter, his sister will be going to elementary school there. And so there may be some things in the background going on, but that's uncontrolled. Only thing we can control is what we can control. Now, if you're Julian Lewis, are you going to make a football decision, or is it a temporary decision? Because ultimately, Caleb Williams just got what, $30 million signing? I think that's what he got guaranteed, something like that.
I think that's what he said on Hard Knocks or whatever.
Right. So at the end of the day, I believe it's in his best interest to go ahead and hold on to that commitment. But I'm gonna hold on to what he said as far as him being committed. Yeah. As of now, he hasn't decommitted. His season started. I think he's going to lock into that season. I don't think he's going to decommit during the season. Do you?
No, but
Right. Right.
I want him to say he's locking it down. Like he said he was going to come out with an announcement saying that, and a lot of people keep saying he is. So where is it? I feel like he should focus more on his high school season than what everyone's saying of him locking it down. Or so he should have done that before the season started for his high school, so he could just laser focus into football.
Right. No doubt, man. So I think it's matter of fact, let me make that. There we go. I wanted to make that screen even. But so I totally agree with you, man. And but I'm gonna hold on to what he had to say as far as he's committed, and until he decommits, I'm not gonna try to make him decommit. No. You know what I mean? One thing that we can do is continue to support him and continue to be behind them. But to put out the information that, and I got another caller coming through, to put out the information that he's possibly going to decommit, that, we just want to show positivity toward him and don't want to sway his decision in any other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trusting Lincoln Riley because he knows quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I know Hassan Longstreet, he's a great quarterback, but whoever Lincoln Riley trusts to run this offense, I'm going to trust him. So no doubt.
Well, Blackie Chan, I appreciate you coming on, my brother. Anything else you wanted to
add? No, just keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, my man. Hey, fight on, my brother, and stay blessed. I'll give you a holler. Hey, one more thing. The QB battle, I got to put this other guy on. He's coming on. The QB battle. Is it a real battle?
It's Miller Moss's job to lose. But Jaden's he's putting him on, like, he's putting him on notice that he's not just going to be a backup quarterback. He's coming for the job.
Amen. Yeah, I totally agree. All right, my brother. Hey, so I'll give you a holler, man. I appreciate you.
All right, fight on, Jay.
Hey, fight on. Phil Parker, how you doing, my man? You got man, where are my sunglasses at, man?
On,
this is about to. I got my sunglasses. I don't know where they're at.
Lost in the sunglasses sauce.
I'm lost in the sunglasses sauce. We got 400 people in here. Is this a real QB battle? I was listening to Cody Kessler, some of the things that he had to say, and I love what he said. He was being real. He thought it was a real QB battle, and he thinks Jaden Maiava's really put some heat. But as I stated, Miller Moss is QB1, Jaden Maiava QB1B. What's your thoughts?
We've all seen Lincoln Riley, how he has a sense of loyalty, and he's willing to risk a whole lot if he has somebody that he's dedicated to, that shows dedication to him. And what happened with Grinch, right? So he bet everything, bet the farm on his friend. So he has loyalty. And look at Miller Moss. Miller has stayed with that program, has seen quarterbacks come and get ahead of him, but he stayed with the program. And through all of that dedication and patience and persistence, I think Riley is not going to lose sight of that dedication. And I think Riley feels a little loyalty to Miller. And look what Miller did with Riley gave him the reins in a pressure-filled bowl time moment, the Holiday Bowl. He balled out. And so Moss has receipts.
He got big-time receipts.
Yeah. So, we're talking about the great performances behind him by what I like your description. We have QB1 and we have QB1A or something like that. Right. I really think that's where we are. And so that's all I wanted to say about Moss. About Jaden, I wanted to comment there. Thank you for telling me that he was on ESPN last night. I switched over immediately. And I was able to watch this kid. Guys, everybody listening, all 400 plus people, if you have a chance to see Jaden's team play on ESPN, you're going to see a quarterback that's going to remind you of Caleb a little bit.
Julian.
Sorry.
No, you're good. We were talking about Jalen Maiava and
you're going to see Jaden remind a quarterback that, at least when I was watching him, he made me think of Caleb I mean, he was moving around.
Right.
He was loose a little bit, meaning he could make people miss him. So he has mobility, and boy, can he throw those dimes all around the field. And that
You know,
touchdown that he threw right over the
it's
shoulder
incredible.
of that receiver, 5 yards before the end zone, reminds me just of Caleb. So I think that, and the other thing, so there was that post, right, that he put up on Instagram, wishing SC luck in the 2024 season.
Right.
Indications to me seem it seems to be that we're solid, that it's on both fronts. I think things are going to happen the way we want them to.
Right. Right. No, I totally agree. And another point I may add is that J.D. Mayava, he threw. I said J.D. I did the same thing as you.
Yeah.
Julian Lewis.
Julian.
Yeah. Julian Lewis threw a pick, but I told somebody. I said I want to see how he responds, because you can always tell by the way individual responds how he comes out on top. And the way he responded, that you probably didn't see that. That was like around the first quarter. He threw that and he came back gunslinging, and he showed me like, look, a lot of people, they don't still display that confidence when they do things like that, make mistakes. But I mean, he looked like he didn't miss a beat. And I think that was something that was phenomenal from his standpoint. And that's a trait that Caleb has. I mean, he looked like Caleb all over again, so.
I have some numbers for you. I'm going to throw them at you, and you tell me what you think about those numbers and if they strike a bell with you. Okay, so we're talking about 4,000 and then the number 12. And now we're talking about 3,000 and the number 2. Those numbers, those are in sets. I'll give you a hint. The first set of numbers applies to the 2022 season. The second set of numbers applies to the 2023 season.
Yeah, it's Caleb. Yeah.
No. That's high school football.
Oh, high school football. Okay.
And we're not talking about Jaden. We're talking about Julian. We're talking about how he came out as in his first year, he threw for around 4,000 yards.
Oh yeah, he has total 7. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the same amount of touchdowns both seasons. But instead of 12 interceptions the first year, he threw for the same amount of touchdowns in the second year, in the last year, and but 1,000 yards fewer. So you move from 12 interceptions to 2 interceptions. We're talking about how this young man, as he's moving through high school, has become increasingly more accurate and more efficient.
Think about the fact that he reclassified too. And so you talk about a kid that's still going to mature, maybe even get a couple of inches, maybe an inch or two, maybe, I don't know, he may stop growing. But the fact that he's just still so young, and he comes out and he looks, I would say he looks like he progressed a little better, a little more in his second year. Well, what is this, third year? Senior year, technically, his third year now playing. He looks like he's a little bit more efficient. He looks like he's more mobile. Like I said, I didn't realize he had that in his back pocket. That came out of nowhere. And it's instinctual. I mean, you can't teach that. He did it in the moment. And I said, wow, now I see why Riley really, really is on him now. That's why they talk about Lincoln Riley being the quarterback whisperer. And I got to take this other call that's coming in from Christian Ragland. But yeah, I totally agree.
Well, thank you for helping me tune into ESPN. And again, to everybody else, tune into ESPN College Football on Friday nights and follow this young kid as he's slinging these dimes all over the field. And we have 2 weeks before the season starts, right? So you can still enjoy a little football even before our college football starts. So with that, thank you, Big J.
Hey, appreciate you, Phil. You look like you're on the boat, man. Fight on.
I am.
Fight on. Hey, fight on.
Fight on.
Man, what's the word, Christian? How you doing, my man?
Man, how are you doing? This is a question, man. Good you up and going, man.
Oh, I'm good, man. Just a little procedure, man. It had me a little lost in the sauce all Thursday because there's some prepping things you got to do. But, we back in the business, man.
Man, good, man. Glad to hear that and everything going well.
Absolutely.
But I was hopping on. I had a probably unpopular opinion, but, man.
Let's hear it.
from what I seen last year with UNLV and watching Jaden play, right? Uh, I believe we Lincoln Riley has a tough decision on his hand.
That's
I
what
believe
Cody
it's a
Kessler.
true.
Yeah,
I
I,
believe it's a true
yeah.
true competition.
Let me get this out the way so everybody can really understand. I don't think there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who really don't. It's easy for us to root for a guy like Miller Moss. We love Miller Moss. We want to see Miller Moss succeed. When all the odds were stacked up against him, when they said that Will Howard was coming to USC, it was kind of like almost a slap in the face that nobody else really was kind of giving Miller Moss the chance. So Miller Moss, yes, he deserves that chance. But here's the real deal. When you, as you stated, and I brought this up several times, Jaden Miava did throw for, and he was only a true freshman. You're talking about a guy that's really not even polished, a guy that really didn't even know the system when he came in to USC. And the question is, did Miller Moss separate himself during the spring game? That's the question. And apparently, Lincoln Riley didn't think so. So much so, he didn't even think so within the past couple of weeks. And so when I heard Cody Kessler kind of echo some of the same things I've been echoing, same things you're echoing right now, like this is a real battle. But I don't think people really understand that Jaden Miava really does have some serious tools when you talk about from a physical aspect, when you're talking about the run ability and
Arm strength, the arm talent.
Arm strength. I heard somebody, I know somebody that was at practice and they said, Jay, I'm telling you, I'm not going to report nothing, coming from practice, but I will say this. They said, Jay, you would not believe how he is slinging his ball around. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not going, I want to try to have maybe have some type of future at USC, maybe with some press credentials. So I ain't gonna just, but Miller Moss, like I said, he still knows the system. And to do everything that Lincoln Riley wants to do, you got to know what you're doing when you're on the field. And so that's one of the things. And so that's where it's at, man.
Yep, and I think their situation really tough enough for us because in the spring game, let's be honest, no quarterback set themselves apart.
No.
I mean, no one just went out there, lit it up, and been on fire. But the issue was Jordan had just got there and not really been in the system. And so it just seems like after the spring game, even from Riley comments that, I said Jordan Jaden, that he's making more strides in learning the offense. And instead of separating, it looks like in the offseason and camp is moving closer and closer. So I think Riley do really have a tough decision on his hand. But the good thing about it is if Riley go with Moss, to give him Miller, if he go with Miller, to give him the benefit of the doubt since he's been there, and that's each. He can always pull the plug. If he chooses to go with Jaden and it's not working, he can always pull the plug. He just can't wait too late to do it.
Well, I don't think Riley. One thing we've seen with Riley in the past is that when you look at guys like Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams, he will put that plug on you pretty quick. If he's not going to allow himself to be essentially lost in the sauce. Now, I will say this: I do feel, even though, and just give you an example, even though Jaden Miava, we got 500 people between YouTube and Twitter in here. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. I do feel like it will benefit Lincoln Riley to start Miller Moss opposed to Jaden Miava, because I think that it essentially maybe could cause chaos, even just to give Miller the benefit of the doubt, if that makes sense. Because I do feel like I feel like he has the locker room. I feel like, he has a relationship with these guys. So from that aspect, even if Miava is doing a great job, I do feel like, okay, at least start Miller Moss just to give him the benefit of the doubt to see. I'm just saying if it's that close. And what's your thoughts?
And I could believe so because even in coaching, we have a criteria. So it's not just athletic ability, throwing on play. That is included, right? Can you lead the team in that? So when they stack up Miller does have a great advantage there. The team is behind him. That's who the team wants. So I believe Miller will be starting day one, and it's his job to lose. But I still think it's a close competition, and and Riley really truly have a decision on hand.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. It's definitely a close competition. And like I said, today is a day that's getting ready to separate this competition. I believe more
At
than
every
any.
position. At every
Yeah.
position.
Every position. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I totally agree. Every position. I mean, you guys know we've been hearing about the cornerback position, whether it's Braylon Conley. I mean, you know what? I would hate to be. I mean, Doug Belt. I guess he's going to ultimately give his recommendations to Deanton Lynn, and Deanton Lynn is going, but that's a tough decision to make, man, when you're talking about the cornerback position, because real quick, I'm going to talk about that. I got guys like Anthony Beavers that I still love. He's a baller. Guys like Jalen Smith. You got Bryson Shaw out there. You got several. Now I know Jarvis Boatwright. I know he is kind of sidelined. I don't think it's nothing serious, but you still got guys like Christian Pierce, Zion Branch. Like, what do you do with all of these guys that USC has in the secondary? And then DeCarlos Nicholson, Jacoby Covington, Humphreys is now back from an injury. So there are multiple guys at the cornerback. Marcellus Williams. You got Marquise Gallegos. You got so many guys. That position is so deep. So the question is, who wins this battle? From a secondary standpoint, you could give me some input on that as well.
Well, it's good and bad situation. The reason I say it's good because Doug Belt came out and said he wants to play 8 to 9 DBs a game.
I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, not on special teams, but actually on defense. So that means in the day of, especially against Oregon and teams who like to speed up running gun, we got fresh bodies coming in. And then now with this long season and playoffs, and you got to win more games and the playoffs get to a final, that's where depth coming into play. So the more depth you have at those positions, the better you're going to be through the season. Now, if the season start and all those players are not getting in and he's not running, 8 to 9 DBs a game, that's where issue can come in, where we can possibly lose some individuals in the portal after the season over, because a lot of people you don't play, they gonna be, hey, I'm up and out. But I love another thing that they're doing with the DBs. They're making everyone interchangeable, so you're not just playing corner. So you play nickel. You're going. So they're finding spots in situations to get all those players on the field and to help the team. So it's a good thing, because it's an embarrassment of riches at that position. And you have that depth. The great teams that we had in the past, what we had depth. So practice was a competition, right? You want to want to get on the field. You want to get on the field. You have to have that competition at practice first, and then it follows in on Saturday. You just can't go out on Saturday. Here in these last decade or so, we haven't had that depth ever since we got hit with the sanctions and all that. That's what really hurt us and put us back, was not having depth at positions and high level competition, people to compete. But now them jokers out to compete, and I heard some pads thumping, and I was loving it. I heard some pads thumping.
Man, I heard some pads thumping, and the only thing I'm concerned about now is we're living in an era where NIL, transfer portal, and guys maybe not wanting to wait. And these teams, like this team right now, from a secondary standpoint, probably one of the most deepest teams that you could possibly ever see. But you just hope that all these guys are bought into the system and bought into, okay, if I had an honest opportunity to play and win this position, that I didn't win it because it might have been a guy that was better. You just kind of hope everybody kind of has that team role aspect and really kind of falls in line with that, because I'm telling you, this is, and it's the same way with the quarterback position. I just feel like may the best man win all across the board, and at whatever position. I mean, even at the linebacker, we can talk about that as well, because you got Rajon Davis, who looks absolutely like a monster. I did a video, showed him. You got, of course, Mason Cobb that's coming back, that it looks like he's probably the projected starter. And then you got the Arnold brother, Issa Mascarenas, who's a starter. But then Eric Gentry. We can't. I mean, are we supposed to just dismiss that? Like, I know for a fact Eric Gentry's probably one of the best athletes out there on the field. So how do we, so you got all these things from a depth aspect, And, that's kind of, I just laugh at some of the podcasts that kind of suggest that USC doesn't have any type of depth. We're deeper than a lot of people even really think. So the linebacker spot, what you think about that?
I think same thing. What I believe we have this year, that one of my big issues the last 2 years was we have a defensive coordinator who understands situational football, right? Down and distance, what to call, who to have on field, whatnot. I think Eric Gentry will still see the field more second and longs, third and longs. A lot of the first down and obvious run situations, I think those first two would be in Mason Cobb and Arnold. They're more downhill physical for that type. But when it comes to the pass game and wingspan defending that, I mean, we have to have Gentry on the field just to see over that length and his hands jumping up, batting on the ball. We have to have that. So I feel we have a coaching staff this year who understands situational football, understand down and distance, right, and personnel. So they're going to have different packages and times that those individuals see the field.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So all
and
across
also,
the board.
And one more, I also think we actually have a defensive coordinator who run film. He won't be out there and said the first time he's seen the wheel route, that's the first time it ran it, and they had ran it 2 weeks before. Utah had ran it 2 previous weeks. So
that was great. That was absolutely insane, man.
Yeah.
That was.
So depending on who we playing in the game plan, I feel like we could see different starters, for 2 weeks, and then see somebody else put in the next week to start, depending on the game plan who we're playing.
Well, yeah, I totally agree. And the thing is, I think we're gonna see a lot of situational football. Period. I think that when you look at whether it's different downs, that's why what Doug Belk said, the language that he used, and he talked about rotating these guys out, because he might like a guy like, from a safety aspect, safety/linebacker aspect, a guy like Eric Gentry or Anthony Beavers, put them in for a different type of situation, and then bring other guys out, and he's going to stack the box. We know that he's going to absolutely stack the box, and you might have 8 guys up there. I mean, it just depends. It varies. So I can really understand why Doug Belk kind of said that, even though some guys, I play running back, so you kind of like to get in that flow. I can imagine the same thing is with guys that play DB, but given the way the system is ran and how they projecting this thing to be ran, I think it's going to be situational football, and that's why we're going to see guys rotating in and out, man.
Right, man. And just looking at Lynn and watching some film and stuff on UCLA last year, just on his defense, one great thing about him and game plan we're going to see is he's going to attack the offense weakness, right?
Yeah.
If you bad at run blocking, he gonna put them boys out there on the island, and he gonna send pressure, and he gonna whatever your weakness is, he gonna attack it. If your quarterback can't sit in that pocket and throw the ball and all that, he gonna stop the run and try to make you beat him through the air. So whatever your weakness is, he gonna attack it, and he gonna attack it hard, and he gonna expose it. And that's exactly what he did all year with UCLA, is attack the opponent's weakness.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about real quick, if you want to stay on for a second. Shout out to my son. I love my son, man. He's his mama's from Louisiana. That's where he got that from. I'm not even gonna read that comment. His mama is from Louisiana. I'm not. Hey, that's why. But I love my son. Hey, God bless him. But man, he's crazy. Anyway, appreciate you. Oh man, hey man, just what?
Getting a bunion removed.
Hey man, nothing serious. It's not life threatening, but when you get a certain age, I'm not telling my age. You're not gonna have me do that. You just gotta get certain things done. I'm just leave it at that, man. I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that. Jeff said, "What's up, Jeff? Jeff, if you want to come on in, man, turn the camera off and come on in. You can come in, man. I left that link in there if you want me to leave it in, because Jeff is on everybody's channel. Shout out to Tim Prangley. Jeff was actually on there last night. Jeff is everywhere. But shout out to Jeff. He said my album isn't started.
It's starting.
Yeah. Brendan, what's up, man? You said our eyes don't lie. Let me get this super chat real quick. But so when you look at hey, Brian, what's up, my man? What's up? Let me get to this super chat and we'll talk about this. John, hey, good to see you, man. I appreciate you, my man. How you doing? Happy Saturday. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. So when you hey, hey, man, hey, whatever. Hey, whatever. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, he
The
know what's
perfect
up.
word. Yeah.
Hey, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Hey, I don't even want to talk about that. Hey, top of the morning, brother. It's time to separate ourselves from bad memories for previous defensive back absolutely performances.
Facts.
Hey man, hey man, I'm that age. Hey man, hey, I'm not 50, so don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But and so man, I'm gonna let you go here in a second. And so when you look at that, when you look at the defensive line, I'm just kind of wondering how this thing, and reports are now that Gavin Myers is now kind of emerging as the guy that could possibly be next to Bear. But I kind of wonder what that situation is going to be like, because Gavin Myers, he's what, 295. Bear is sitting at, I think, 315 now. And so the defensive line could possibly, hey, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. We got 556 people in here. So the defensive line could possibly be a strength as well. And so I don't know if you guys heard this interview by Eric Henderson the other day, which was Thursday. Like I said, I was prepping, so I didn't even want to come. I wanted to talk about it, but he says that he's very, very pleased with the way the defensive line is looking. And for me, listen, Eric Henderson is not a guy that's going to sugarcoat nothing. He's not a guy, in my opinion, that's going to say something is good and it's actually not. And so my thing is that when you look at some of the things that he said in the language, he said very pleased, if I'm not mistaken. Did you see that interview? It was it was on one of those, but he said he's very pleased. So what are your thoughts on the way the defensive line is shaping up and the language that came from a guy like Eric Henderson?
That was a concern of mine with the defensive line, but they have steady added and brought, and the people that was there they have brought along. His name escapes me right now, but Lincoln Riley said when he got there, he was the most out of shape guy on the team, and now he looks amazing, and in the talks to be getting a lot of playing time as well. What is his name? I can't remember the defensive lineman. Lincoln Riley said he was he was the worst shaped player on the team.
Kobe Pepe. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so people like that even stepping up. I like that Lincoln Riley as well is taking ownership of the entire team by even, saying, hey, Bear, we need you to have that dog every play, right? We need you to be consistent in order for us to be where we got to be. No plays off. We need you to be a leader. I know the defensive line were talking there, and they was like, oh yeah, they having dinners, defensive line dinners with Coach Henderson. Coach Henderson telling them people that you normally don't talk to, take them by this, and they're saying, okay, we're a team now. And just watching the defensive line practice and the clips I seen, I mean, Henderson is actually coaching. And it's so refreshing that he's teaching them up technique, this and that. And I think I feel strongly that defensive line, we about to see a totally different defense because of change of scheme, change in mentality, personnel and we had good defensive linemen last year. They were just undersized. Listen, especially on the edges. We had talent already. It was scheme wise. It was schematic that was the problem.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And to all those that kind of revert back to, and we could talk. I'm not even really talk about them, but Paul Feinbaum, some of the things that it's like they totally missed the fact that this whole staff has now implemented a system, and encouragement to these guys that's going to actually put pep in these guys' step, and then showing these guys the fundamental, and to really kind of just bypass that and not even acknowledge that, it kind of revert back to that same narrative, really to put that out. But they could try to control the narrative all you want. We got 1 week left. USC can now control their narrative, and I think it's going to be straight up go time, and a lot of people are about to find out everything that the media said. They about to get pie in their face completely.
Can't wait. And when we beat them, everybody should Twitter and everything hashtag fine bomb with
Oh, hey, listen,
eat him
listen,
up. Like what was
listen.
all that you were saying?
Hey, you know when Paul Feinbaum, man. Hey, when that happens, I am absolutely. I'm coming out. I'm blazing because at the end of the day, man, this is USC has been fighting the narrative for a long time. It's bad enough that we had sanctions, all types of things against us, but then it's always been that negative aspect ever since the sanctions took place, and USC lost on a lot because of that. And you see other schools reaping the benefits because of what USC been through, man. So I totally agree, man. I appreciate you, my brother, for tapping in.
No worries, man. Anytime. Appreciate you, man. Glad you're doing well.
Hey, I appreciate you, my brother. Hey, fight on, my man. Fight on and stay blessed.
Fight on.
Hey, listen, I am getting ready to get out of here. Anybody that wants to come on, I'm gonna share that link one more time in this description. You guys know we starting a call-in show. And by the season start, I will have a phone set up. I'm just doing it through StreamYard. You can come on through StreamYard. You can select the option to not use the camera. Just use your voice before you log in here, and we can roll with that. Log in that way or log in with your face on there. It's up to you. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. Right now, we got about 600 people. Big Keith. Come on in, my brother. If you want to come in, hit that link, man. If you want to come in. We got 587 people in here. So, USCJ, will you be in Vegas? Yes, yes and no. I got some things going on with my company right now, and I'm a little lost in the sauce with that. But listen, I'm trying to get out there. I got my tickets. I got my places. Well, my dad lives out there. I lived in Vegas for 5 years, and so I'll be staying with my pops. And I got a lot of family out there. But so hopefully everything get worked out with my company. But that's the plan, trying to get out there right now. But definitely appreciate you, my brother. Anybody that wants to tap in, come on in. Let's talk about USC. Okay, I got you, Keith. Hey, I appreciate you, my brother. Everybody knows Keith. Keith Biggers played linebacker for USC and was 1985, right? Or 84. But anyway, he's a good friend of mine. We communicate, we text almost every day. But I definitely appreciate him. Jay, this cosmetic surgery, how's your man, what are you talking about? Hey, man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hey, man. Hey, well, yeah, cosmetic surgery, huh? Hey, guess what? I'm an athlete too. I ain't big like I used to be, but I got a little something. We need Eminem and JM to play optimal flexible levels. And I think so, man. It may be, we'll see, man. It may be different packages for my album. If Miller Moss doesn't get in there full time, if Jaden Malvin doesn't get in there full time, we'll see how this thing work out. But I think it's a good option sitting right there. Let's see here. Jay Fair is going to make noise this year. Hey, listen. Let me tell you who's going to make noise, and I agree. I like Jay Fair, but I got Mekhi Lemon as one. Listen, what I saw from Mekhi Lemon during the Holiday Bowl, look, I saw Amon St. Brown all over again. I think he has an attitude. Look, certain people got swags about him. Mekhi Lemon has this swag. I don't know if you ever saw him. If you just check out a person's characteristic. This guy got the swag about him, and it's straight up go time. And I think Mekhi Lemon is one of those guys that's going to absolutely ball out, man. I think once he gets the ball and he catches with his hands, not just his body, but once he gets the ball, Mekhi Lemon has a bounce in his step that's different, man. Once he gets it, he's on his toes. He's constantly rolling on his toes. He's not on the palm of his feet. I think this guy, man, I love what I see from Mekhi Lemon. I think he may be the breakout player of the year. And I actually said that in the video, man. I love what I see from him. Jamie, what's up? Mekhi Lemon will be valuable. He will be absolutely valuable. Every time I hear anybody talk about USC receivers, they always bring up Deuce Robinson, Zachariah Branch, but they rarely really touch on Mekhi Lemon. And that just lets me know the same way they talk about USC from a defensive perspective, not recognizing that they got a whole new staff. they do the same thing with the wide receivers. They don't touch on the core, some of the other core groups, guys like Mekhi Lemon as well. Mekhi Lemon was sick. Man, listen, you remember when he went to Florida, when he played that team, Malachi was throwing to him. I think he had like 200 some receiving yards. Mekhi Lemon actually, I mean, he went crazy, absolutely balled out. My guy, what's the word? SC Nation, absolutely. The LSU game is going to be lit. I am there, and my wife bringing earmuffs. It ain't going to be cold outside. You better put some earplugs, man. Tell the wife, fight on, my man, fight on. Yeah, it's going to be lit, big time. Wide receiver room looking good. And, hey, don't sleep on Kyle Ford. One thing I can say about Kyle Ford is he does have a relationship. Let me take a picture of this because we got 600-some people in the chat. We had 700-some people last week. This is between YouTube and Twitter. So, listen, the call-in show is doing phenomenal things and it's straight up go time. But, hey, the wide receiver room is stacked. And Lincoln's going to run 7 to 8 receivers. Hey, it's going to be straight up go time. I'm about to get out of here. I didn't want to be on here. Let me get some of these questions real quick. Lemon is the real deal. Absolutely. Jeff Rod, I agree. Fight on, my brother. Fight on. That's 7 wide receivers with great talent. And it's actually more than 7. I mean, we got a ton of guys, man. I'm not going to sleep on Xavier Jordan. I like what I saw from him during the spring game. I like what I saw from a lot of these guys, man. Xavier Jordan, Deuce Robinson, Jacoby Lane, Mekhi Lemon, Zachariah Branch. I mean, the list, Jay Fair, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And so, do you believe Miller won the QB battle? Listen, we talked about that at the beginning, but we'll find out today. USC is scrimmaging today, and that's it. You know, you came in a little late, but that's kind of what we talked about. We will find out today based on this scrimmage, and we got to hear something because I think next week is going to be mock game week, and so they got to announce that the quarterback situation is decided. So you guys can tell me what you guys think about that. Hey, thank you, my brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Oh my God, that just lets you know how many receivers we have. I forgot about Kyron Hudson. He's the leader of the group. Yeah, you're right. Lake McCree is he's very underrated. Tight end, and I hear he improved. Absolutely. Lake McCree, Joey Olsen, Matthews, you got Cade Outridge, and of course you got Walker Lyons. Don't forget on him. These guys are ballers. Fight on, my man. Hey, be safe on that boat, my man. Be safe on that boat. I do hope the tight ends get some more love this season. We aren't going to get any more 4-star tight ends. Man, we got a ton of tight ends right now, but I hope they get some love too. Mekhi Lemon will be wide receiver 1. Yeah, he got to be, man. His step, the pep in his step is crazy. Hey, I appreciate you, my man. The pep in his step is absolutely crazy. Listen, we got 601 people in this chat. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. We getting ready to hear. I'm happy with the linebacker. Yeah, me too. I thank everybody for coming in today, man. This was a great live, great feedback, great conversation. I really appreciate everybody for coming in. Kyron Hudson is like Robert Woods. Hey, I love Kyron, a modern day guy. We still got 2 modern day guys. We got Kyron Hudson and we got Rajon Davis. So look, man, it's straight up go time. Appreciate both of those guys. So look, I am about to get out of here. Happy Saturday to everybody, man. Everybody stay blessed. You guys already know. Hey, likewise, everybody have a blessed, great weekend. Everybody stay blessed. Fight on, fight on, fight on.